Hazelight Studios, the studio behind great games like A Way Out and It Takes Two under EA, has just came out with their new game Split Fiction, and it is doing very well and has become very well received by reviews. Is it going to be Game of the Year already, following in the footsteps of the prior games? Probably. But should you play it? Let's talk about that. First of all, I want to say there is a Friends Pass, which means even though this game is £40, I don't know in dollars or whatever, if you download it, you can technically just invite your friend to play it in the game menu, so you could maybe go half and half on the price. That's what I did with my friend. Or yeah, if you're feeling nice, you can just invite anyone to play with you. You just have to own the game, then they can install the Friends Pass version. Okay, so the game is about two contrasting writers. One writes fantasy and one writes sci-fi, and they end up basically getting trapped in their stories after a dispute about being hooked up to a machine to steal their creative ideas by this presumably evil company. They then have to make their way out this machine by finding rifts within the simulations, if you will. But that's enough about that. Let's go on to the gameplay. So obviously, just like the prior games, this is a co-op multiplayer game, split screen, which in its own feels like a monopoly that they've done, because after these games you usually have a craving to find more games like them, and you really just can't. They're like the only ones made at such a high level, high scale production. Like, if you want to play a good multiplayer game, you have to go through this company's free. And if you haven't already, that being said, you really should, especially A Way Out. That game's so short, you can finish it maybe 6 hours. If you grab a friend, you can do it in one sitting. And if you don't cry, I mean, you're not built like everybody else is. Whereas some people don't, some people do. But if you don't, you're the minority. But anyway, as usual, this game just brings in so many good solid mechanics. Like, I know It Takes Two had an award for the amount of mechanics in the game or something. This game has so many new mechanics that are just beautiful. They feel really fluent, they're well done. All the animations are done seamlessly. It feels like every 30 minutes that max you're being introduced to a new mechanic that is very beneficial, and not only that, it's fun to learn. Like, if they taught schools stuff that was this fun to learn, I would go every day. And I'm trying not to go into too much detail, because I know just seeing some of this shit for yourself actually adds a lot to the experience. I don't want to spoil anything, even though you've probably already seen. But just trust me, you play the game and you'll see what I mean. It feels so fluid. It's just a masterpiece when it comes to game design. Like, these devs know what they're doing and they know how to do it, and they've always done it so well. And some of the concepts that this game creates, I mean, I have to be convinced that these guys are in a room and there's one of them who's just constantly smoking crack from the pipe, just coming up with these most crazy ideas, and he's just writing down his hallucinations as he goes. Like, that's the only way they can come up with some of this stuff. I'm not going to go into detail, as I said, because you need to play it for yourself, but it's holy fuck. And on top of that, the transitions between the two stories, as I said, and then these little side stories you can find, they're so well done. Like, it just feels smooth. It's a constant refreshing. They're done at such a good pace that you don't get bored of one and you're immediately into the next one already, and you just never ever get bored. Now, another thing I'd like to go into, which they do in a lot of their games, in A Way Out, it was kind of more the core of the game. Now it's they focus on the gameplay and then they do the story second, I'd say. Whereas with A Way Out, it's the story was the main thing and then the gameplay. But yeah, it's they add little voice lines here and there, showing the characters building connections, and sometimes it does feel a little bit cheesy, I'll say it. But it's you still get the effects that the characters are building a connection with each other that they didn't really have at first, which is kind of a similar thing with It Takes Two, but it's done in such a different way. And as you progress throughout the game, you don't even realize that you're starting to build a connection with the characters. You're starting to like them more, maybe even hate them more. I mean, hey, you do you. Okay, that's going to be me done here. I've kept it short. I've kept it very concise, to the point. Should you play the game? Yes. Should it win awards? Yes, I really think it should. Is it their best work? I don't know. I'm a massive fan of A Way Out. I've always been a Way Out super fan, so we'll see. I'll see if it grows on me. But yeah, thanks for watching. I know that this video was a lot more just talking, less editing. I hope you still enjoyed it. If you watched this far, comment down below and comment what game I should review next.